you, your album, your chair that you was sitting in on Sway in the Morning, you didn't get any taller, your hairpiece, your fake beard, your fake teeth, your Cuban, your fake ass Thriller jacket, your hairline, your baldy, your fade, the way you sing. This nigga hates feet. Like, that's where we're at. Tory Lanez is the suspected shooter now, and you know, I guess none of us are surprised at this, but I guess the thing that's really giving me pause about this situation is just what inspired Meg Thee Stallion to finally expose Tory Lanez for doing what he'd done. Apparently, there was an article posted that was kind of trying to insinuate that Meg Thee Stallion may have been laying it on a little bit thick when she was telling people that she was shot. In my brain, this didn't make sense because Meg had already gotten the hype off of the Beyonce song. I'm like, there would be no reason for her to lie about getting hit like this. Tie that into the fact that they said that there were gunshots that day. Tory Lanez is the only dude that was arrested with a weapon. People in Meg's entourage and in her group were threatening Tory Lanez after a little while, and Tory Lanez has been silent ever since that day, even though he was bonded out not long after he was arrested. So these things to me made me think, why is he hiding from social media, and why is Meg Thee Stallion avoiding saying that he's the one who didn't do it if he truly didn't do it? In my brain, if there's an ongoing investigation, there's a lot of ways you can tell people that this guy isn't one of the suspects without blatantly saying that he's not one of the suspects. You could either A, have him come over to your house and do a live with him. You could either B, go on live with him and have a good energy conversation that isn't associated with the case in any way, shape, or form, letting the public know this isn't one of the guys that you're supposed to be looking at. You could see, not unfollow the dude. There's so many things that you could say to let people know without blatantly saying it that this isn't the guy. But none of those things were done, which let me know she's probably saying that he did it. Because like I said, if there's somebody that I like or somebody that I know, and I know they weren't involved in something, the last thing I'm gonna let fly around after I'm calling out the public for telling lies about other things is not tell them that this dude isn't the right dude that y'all are trying to cancel. All these things are reasons why I believe Tory Lanez did what she is alleging he did. It's not as simple as hearing one side of the story and then hearing the other side of the story, because all these things conveniently lead to the exact same guy. Tory and Meg were having an argument for what she says, and they got off on the wrong foot. And she got out of the car, he pulls out the weapon, bang, bang. This is the bitchest nigga alive. You have to be not only the biggest coward in the world to not only pull the trigger on someone walking away from you, their back is turned to you, all right? We can get into a conversation about it being a black woman maybe another time, or y'all can have that conversation right now. That's obvious, right? That's the obvious thing that should be discussed, but I really had issue with this because you did it to somebody who had their back turned to you. That's the threat walking away. There wasn't a threat, number one, but that's the target walking away from you. This is what you decide to do in this moment. Another reason why it makes more sense for Tory Lanez to be the guy is because at the height of his career, he just got to deal with quarantine radio. This nigga was going live every single day damn near. And all this time, when you're being accused of all these heinous things, you have no words for anyone. The frustration from Meg Thee Stallion in it being insinuated that she was laying it on thick or telling a lie, I understand why. Now I gotta give Meg massive props and kudos for being in that position, being shot from behind by a man, and then still saying, you know what, let me prioritize all of our safeties. You know, in this day and age, I don't trust police. I don't trust what they do. We're black, we're in this neighborhood, in this area. Rarely do we even get the cash flow to live here and sustain ourselves. Last thing I'm gonna do is tell them that there's weapons around, and then we all get treated much harshly, as opposed to me just taking the rap right now and then going on to let them investigate later. He can't control what the police are gonna do, right? But she can control what she says that leads them to Tory, and she still decided to protect this dude. That takes a level of consideration and foresight that I can only commend her for. I don't know what could be said and what state of mind this dude had to be in for him to be like, yeah, this is justifiable. I've listed a lot of reasons why I believe her, but there's a lot more reasons why I don't believe that she's lying, or why lying just wouldn't benefit her. Number one, I don't believe that lying about the situation adds to her music or her overall persona. For her to say she went through all this for just one song to go number one, when just weeks prior she already had a number one with Beyonce. Sure, she gained support from this, but as far as it impacting her her overall music sales, that it did not. Now, I told y'all Tory Lanez was a weirdo back when he ran down on a YouTube rapper named Dax for participating in a challenge that Tory Lanez himself had issued. Ran down on this dude just because it was a day when dude didn't feel like being dissed. All you wannabe hard rappers out there that love to portray this rough exterior, posting these videos of yourself fighting people online, now wanting people to believe that you're nowhere near as violent as you've portrayed the entirety of your career, isn't gonna fly so last minute. Whether the violence is against men or against women, if you portray yourself that way, that is the type of person that you tend to be. Though he didn't end up getting hit, I believe Dax was in a similar situation when dealing with Tory Lanez last year. I don't know if bro was so upset that he wasn't tall enough to ride the Stallion. I don't know if Buddy was in one of those trucks that he had to step into with both feet before his feet could actually touch the ground to get into the seat. Quarantine is close to ending and this dude waited all that time just to be deported. Like, you back in quarantine again? It put me in a weird position as well with this situation because it was immediately like in that moment in what she was saying about not saying anything about Tory in that situation kind of made me have a little bit more sympathy for her situation, because it just made me look at her like, damn, in that moment you feel like she probably felt completely alone, because here's a moment where you feel like no one can defend you. Like, you've just been hit, you're leaking everywhere, and you feel like you're not safe with the dude that you were just with moments before that you may have felt a little safe with. I don't know how y'all relationship is. And then you can't feel safe with the police that are supposed to be there to protect you because they're the biggest threat at that moment to you. Gotta be a scary feeling, and in that moment you're really vulnerable because you need medical attention, you need care in that moment, but at the same time, no one's really psychologically trying to peer into what just happened to you because everyone's under the impression that you just injured your own foot. Went from quarantine radio to cops like that. I know this isn't a funny matter, but all I can imagine when Tory Lanez is shooting his gun is for his body to go flying back as far as the eye can see. There was this movie not too long ago, well, it was a long time ago, where there was some dispute or some scuffle going on near the end, and this little person, she's a woman in the movie that's super glammed up, picks up a gun, shoots it, and her body goes flying in the other direction. That's all I could think of. What does this mean for Tory Lanez? Number one, why this isn't the same thing as Chris Brown. Chris Brown didn't shoot Rihanna. Though that is a domestic dispute, I think in this situation, Tory Lanez not being a citizen of the US, he could technically be deported. Now, if he isn't deported and nothing further happens from this, anyone that works with the dude is gonna be looked at as funny, right? Optics, like I said, play a huge role in that. So all the men out there in the industry that preach and talk about how much they love and support and protect black women are not going to be able to rock with Tory Lanez knowing what he did. I'm not saying you can't listen to his music. I mean, Chris Brown's still out here going strong. I'm just saying that if you do work with this dude, it's on a far different level than anything that Chris Brown did. And I'm not saying you should forgive, pardon, or how you should feel about Chris Brown doing what he did. I'm just saying in this situation, there is an actual lesser of two evils. So optics are going to prevent people from working with this dude whether they want to or not. That quarantine radio deal, Quarantine done. Niggas aren't afraid enough of the consequences of what these things are because they keep doing it. Like, there must not be a general consequence of, like, you gonna die if you shoot someone in the back and she didn't do anything to you. Like, the streets got a lot of rules that don't apply to how you treat citizens, how you treat children, and how you treat women. Like, that, there's just no code in that. Y'all got a code for everything else, like insinuating Meg's a snitch for saying something. Now, interestingly enough, I think in this situation, Meg says that she was trying to protect everyone, which I think is a very commendable perspective to have, but at the same time, if we never knew that she was shot, I don't think we ever find out that Tory Lanez is the shooter. Meg is the one that went on to social media to tell people, no, I didn't cut my foot on glass, I was actually hit with a weapon. That means someone intended to harm you. People don't speculate if they never know that you were intentionally harmed. Tory Lanez never becomes a suspect in that. From what's been coming out recently, they've been saying that we believe it was actually glass instead of gunshots, but I didn't believe that, and Meg has confirmed that as well. And then Tory Lanez never has to become the confirmed shooter. Now, I don't have a problem with her telling or saying anything because I think that's what she should do to defend herself. And if Tory Lanez wasn't going to be man enough to come out and say I made a mistake, then she should definitely be able to have some type of closure with the situation. I don't find a problem with that. However, I still gotta give her massive respect for that split-second decision of saying that I want to keep everyone in the situation that's black safe enough from police that I'm willing to not say anything until we can cool down. Which for a foot full of bullets, I would assume would be pretty difficult. He should have been arrested for riding in the car without his car seat. I'm seeing some really frustrating takes right now though. Like I might need to stop recording right now because niggas are like unironically asking why she didn't talk to him about this privately. Nigga, you shot me! He's lucky he's walking around, my god. Like, oh, nah, see, you could just, I understand how frustrating this is. I can only imagine if he hit her with one of the bullets and then he start talking shit afterwards. Dog, yo, you hit me with my foot and all you you talking shit? I don't know. But yeah, that's all I got. Yeah. Everything has led me to believe that this is the case. I've just been waiting for herself to come out and say something about that is direct, and then I could say how I feel about it. And that's pretty much it, you know. It's fuck Tory Lanez. I mean, you might feel different. You might want to hear both sides. There is information on here that is a little unclear, but for the most part, the things that I was most concerned about, I at least have some type of confirmation to right now. Thank y'all for watching. And a good day to everyone that isn't the height of Tory Lanez. Peace.